sell candy? Joe, say something.
Say something. Hey, hey. Santa Monica.
San Francisco! Woo!
Coming up next, so Bob McKenzie has the touching story of a Bay Area father willing to sacrifice everything to help his son. But as we know, it's no news that parents around the world will make sacrifices to help their children, to give them a better life. But we found a man right here in the Bay Area whose sacrifice to help his son is almost total. Their story is a sad one. Bob McKenzie has that report.
In a bleak project building in San Francisco, where the landscaping consists mainly of graffiti, Stephen Sakak did today what he does every day, getting his 18-year-old son Tony up from his bed and into his wheelchair.
I know you won't get up. I know you want to go out. You're gonna walk tomorrow. One more day. One more day.
It's quite a process, since Tony has no control of his limbs. Whether he knows what's going on at all is a question. His father insists that the answer is yes. At 16, Tony Sakak had epilepsy and some learning difficulties, but was otherwise a healthy boy. He and his father had a lot of fun together. They took a trip across the United States to spread the word that teenagers should try to work out their problems with their families rather than running away.
1, 2, 3.
Then 2 years ago, a prolonged epileptic seizure left Tony severely brain damaged, with no speech, no apparent awareness or motor control. His doctors eventually gave up hope that any therapy would do him much good. So Stephen Sakak gave up on doctors. Now he puts his faith in Jesus, in acupuncture treatments, and in his own limitless devotion to his son's care. He gave up his job as a maintenance worker in a hospital and now spends 24 hours a day with his son. He is convinced the boy is making progress.
He push up his head and neck, he wants to go up. Then he says some sentences. He say mama, oma, and some new thing he said. You're doing great.
What did the doctors tell you about Tony?
When my son got sick after 4 weeks ago in a hospital, when he was in the coma, he said he's a brain dead, he's gone, he's finished. And said he had to go to Laguna Honda. He's finished. They don't want to do nothing.
Why didn't you believe that?
I don't believe that. Okay, let's go.
The project housing is all Sakak can afford, he says, on the disability checks they receive. He would like to have a van to take Tony to parks and playgrounds, but he has no money for one. His tasks go around the clock, though an occasional volunteer takes over for an hour or so now and then.
I love my son. I raised him by myself a long time, and I love him, and I don't want to give him up.
If all the world were to decide that Tony will not come back, his father would maintain that he will come back. He believes that his son will walk again and talk again. In San Francisco, Bob McKenzie for the 10 o'clock news.
This is News Center 4 at 5, your 24-hour news service.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Emerald Ye.
I'm Evan White. Father's Day may still be a month away, but tonight we want to share a real, everyday Father's Day story with you. This one about a father fighting for his son and getting help from total strangers. News Center 4's Mark Jones reports.
Father and son 3 years ago. The son today, Tony Sakak, totally paralyzed.
Apparently he has viral encephalitis is how I understand it. And according to Mr. Sakak, the hospital had given up the boy for pretty much just brain dead and with no hope of recovery. And then Mr. Sakak, against all odds, said, screw you, medical establishment. I'm taking the boy to the house, and the rest is history.
Josh Maddox has never met the Sakak family. He knows Stephen Sakak's reputation as a father who wouldn't give up. A father that would go to the cable car turnaround at Fisherman's Wharf to get help from tourists.
Come on, it's okay.
Stephen Sakak couldn't carry his son's wheelchair down these steps without help from strangers.
Yeah, like this.
He's just irrepressible, and he's just an inspiration. He just will not give up.
Good Samaritan Gary Hagman has helped with Tony's therapy.
Through work and his love and care, he's loosening.
And appears wanting to stand. That's where stranger Josh Maddox entered the picture. Maddox's wife, Kathy, was paralyzed in a Christmas Eve accident in 1979. The couple is donating a tilt table to help Tony's rehabilitation. Today, Kathy is a corporate lawyer.
How's it feel to be turning this over to somebody else who could use it?
It feels great.
Shamrock Movers delivered the table to a father who wouldn't say no. A father with eternal hope.
We'll walk and we'll talk. He's going to have everything all over a new life.
In San Francisco, Mark Jones, News Center 4.
Sakak is a persistent man. He doesn't need physical help from those tourists anymore. His apartment building now has a wheelchair ramp.
We're going to stand up, okay?
This is Tony Sakak. He's 21 years old, and according to his father, he's been deemed brain dead. This label comes from a community of doctors in his hometown of San Francisco. Whether he knows what's going on around him is a question, but his father insists the answer is yes.
I try to work harder to show everybody he wants to walk, and nobody won't believe.
Doctors find progress from Tony hard to believe because of the severity of his condition. Nearly 6 years ago, Tony suffered a severe epileptic seizure, followed by a bout of viral encephalitis. That left him in what they called a vegetative state. But his father won't give up hope, a commitment that's inspired others to lend a hand.